call the meeting to order.
The Monroeville Town Council met on September 3rd at 7 p.m. with the following members present: Don Gerardo, Tim Berry, Chad Heffernan, and Rich Stevenson. The minutes of the August 6th meeting were read. Tim made a motion to approve, seconded by Chad, and passed. Motion to approve the appropriation reduction for the local road and streets was made by Rich, seconded by Chad, and passed. Motion to approve resolution 2025-4 for the town of Monroeville to adopt the Americans with Disabilities Act coordinator and procedures was made by Rich, seconded by Chad, and passed. Motion to approve resolution 2025-5 for the town of Monroeville to appoint Abe and Don as the coordinator and superintendent was made by Rich, seconded by Tim, and passed. With nothing further to discuss, Tim made a motion to adjourn, seconded by Rich, and passed.
Any additions or corrections? Being none, we need a motion to accept the minutes as read.
I make that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, likewise. Clear pass.
Budget.
Okay, let's call we're going to recess the regular meeting, and we are going to call the budget hearing together.
This is if you are in favor of adopting the budget for 2026.
Yes, we need a motion to adopt the budget for 2026.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. Clear pass. Okay, let's go back to the regular meeting.
Who you pointing at? Probably me. No.
As well as the resolution.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Slate with the Allen County Department of Planning Services. Today I'm here to give my final presentation on the Monroeville technical amendment updates with the hope of Town Council approval for a November 7th, 2025 effective date. This set of technical amendments is proposed to clarify language and address issues that have come up since the effective date of the Monroeville zoning ordinance on January 1st of this year. This proposed technical amendment is an accumulation of the 2024 Fort Wayne and Allen County technical amendments, the 2024 Fort Wayne and Allen County height amendment, and the Allen County accessory dwelling unit amendment that has been previously approved, which you have handouts that kind of describe all of the accessory dwelling units. This is a continuation of the alignment process for all zoning ordinances under the Department of Planning Services. Some of the more major items you'll see that are included are adding provisions to allow accessory dwelling units to be permitted as an accessory to a primary residential structure in AR, R1, R2, R3, and MHS zoning districts. The definition has also been updated. And then as well as removing limitations on building size and number of buildings in C2, NC, and SC, and increasing the height maximum to 75 feet in commercial and industrial zoning districts. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, what'd you say?
Sorry. Sorry about this.
Does the microphone work? You can't hear it either, I know I'm hard of hearing.
It records.
Yes,
Oh,
it
that's all it does. It just
doesn't boil it down and tell us what to say.
Yeah, so I'm just with the Department of Planning Services, and we do like
This is the
zoning
same
ordinance
thing.
updates. So we just, I mean, there's more to it than just the accessory dwelling units.
This is
and,
Where we zoning at here?
What are we?
I mean,
Oh, it's not
area-wise.
specifically, it's just about Monroeville, it's just,
Oh, okay.
your guys'
Good.
zoning. We're not changing, like rezoning anything, just adding things that weren't already in the zoning.
okay, thank you. I don't
Yeah,
mean to be
yeah,
a-
no, I'm sorry.
I probably am.
No,
What,
sure.
what is the next resolution number?
2025.
Thank you.
dash six.
Yeah, you're welcome.
2025-6?
Yeah.
This is, go ahead, Tim.
No, this is the same proposal Ben brought to us a couple months ago.
Yes,
Just-
it was.
This is
Yeah.
just the final version.
Yeah. Which I don't know if anything really has changed. I think so. So.
You know, that's what he presented when he was here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just to allow.
Same
some-
thing,
if
this
some-
is the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
You can essentially have an accessory structure on your property that you can have somebody live in, provided that it meets all of the minimum requirements of the ordinance.
Yeah, like a mother-in-law. Sweet.
And I forget, what's the minimum? Is it 9? What's the minimum square footage?
The minimum square footage of a home, 700. I feel like that's not right. Ooh, never mind, I have the packet right
It
here.
has to be less than 700 square feet.
For the accessory.
For the accessory.
Accessory would be under 700.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm like,
Yeah.
basement, yeah.
700, yeah.
Basically, we're gonna need a motion to pass resolution number 2025-6.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed likewise. Clear pass. Here,
Does that need to be effective as of, what did you say?
It's effective November 7th.
Okay,
Yeah, you still have to go
November
to
7th.
county council, get approval.
okay.
Here, give me, we got one down there. We'll have to give her.
I don't have that with these.
You don't, oh, okay. We only got the one.
Yeah, if anything, you can just scan that and send it to me, if you also need your own copy.
What's your email?
Yeah, if, whenever you're ready, sorry, I don't have a business card.
Do you want to write it down?
Does
Well,
everything
here,
on
just
mobile phone?
She can write it.
just write it down on,
Okay, okay, sorry.
that way,
Accessory structure.
that way, otherwise you're on TV, so.
700 square feet.
No, maximum.
Max.
But it has to have bathroom, it has to.
Right, you'd have to have storage. That's one of my axes on here.
Have you send it to my regular Gmail? No, you can do it that way.
You see, when I moved
Sorry, we
here,
have 100 emails, and the only one I can ever remember is my personal one, so that'll do.
Allen Street, the selling place down. John O'Shaughnessy had 2 trailers behind me. And I was good friends with O'Shaughnessy and John. And I asked him, he said, well, when those
Thank you.
trailers go out, they won't be any.
Thank you.
Well, that was not the case. And since, there's been a whole lot of other stuff go on, that I think makes a detraction to this town, and that's why I'm here. I put 51 years in this town and raised my kids here. It was a beautiful place. We have we have 3 car dealers, we've had all kinds of businesses in this town. And I see it every day, and I wonder what people that don't live here, that come in 101, or even from south of town, the first thing they see is the old Texaco station across from Dollar General. They go around, they see Haas's old Marathon station, it was cleaned up, but it's not anymore, it looks like a junkyard. I'm not here to pick on my neighbors or anything like that. I just, after 51 years, I'd like to see it be a decent place to raise kids. That's why I moved out of Fort Wayne. I had a nice place in Fort Wayne by Southtown. I moved out there because it is like it is now. And that's my basic thing. But it's just like the Foster's old weld shop. They pulled a truck in there alongside it. It's been there, it's never moved. There's a lot of that right in this area. I've got 10 trailers within 200 feet of my house. No reflection on you, sir. But I mean, it's not good getting any better. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
And they did make a mess down here on the corner when they tore that old barn down there where Jerry lived. And they just left it. Why wasn't there a dumpster there? Because they got this end of the easement blocked, and it's been blocked ever since they've been in the weld shop. It never was when Foster was there. And you can't get down there for safety reasons or any other reasons. And they're trying to put in Wi-Fi and everything down through there, and they got to go the whole way. Well, since they tore that building down, there's all kind of refuge. Going nails in my tires and things. I can't get to my property. There's 4 of us in a row that don't have an access to the back. Now, I've got the best of neighbors. I've got the same neighbors that I lived here with. Yeah. Got Linda Castleman. I got the Heinzelman's next door, and Kelly. I mean, and they're all great neighbors. They have been all the time. I don't mean to interrupt your, I don't know the decorum. I turned 85 yesterday, you know, the marbles ain't all there.
Okay.
My marble was still moving around.
Well, they're moving around, that's about it.
Tom.
Okay, I'll leave you alone.
I got the same thing that I've been here for the last 3 months. We gotta clean up the town. People say we're working on it. Nothing's happened yet. I mean, there's, like he said, down here, the 5th wheel trailer that's set there, there's 2 of them. You know,
That'll be brought up here in a minute.
Well, across the street from me, they moved a trailer in back behind where Diane Feathers lived, and they're living in it. I mean, it's about a 30-foot trailer, and they've got the awnings out.
To a flatbed trailer. And what I need to know is it'd be okay, because I'm working on getting the back end cut off so that I can move it back off the sidewalk. And then I'm gonna finish stripping out the inside of it so that I can get it down to just a bare frame to build a flatbed.
This is 204 Elm, it's the
Right,
204
204 Elm.
And imagine it'd take me probably about 30 days to get it all stripped out and cut down. I just wondered if I...
Yeah, but we've been catching hell for your place for 5 years.
yeah, it's been there for forever. I mean, now you say it'll take at least 30 days.
No, it hadn't been
It's
there
been
forever.
30 months, it had nothing
I
happened.
had to wait for a title to come because when I got it, it didn't have a title to it.
Well, all I can say is the residential area is no place to be doing remodel and tearing stuff down.
My question is, what do you do with the trailer when you get it remodeled? Where do you go put it?
I'm not building it into a camper.
Well, I know. Well, you can't keep a camper there, can you? I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to hassle, I'm just asking a few questions.
Keep the camper on the property.
Yeah, what you do, I mean, is it gonna stay there then, the trailer, or you don't know?
See,
Well, we're going down
if
without
you'd
finding-
actually have probably cleaned the place up and it wasn't such a shithole all the time, we probably would have a little bit of mercy.
Well, there's weeds and brush growing up pretty tall around there.
Now, I understand where you're coming from. I had two boats, an 18-foot and 14-foot that I kept at my house. I didn't keep it at my house. I had a place in Decatur where I stored it in the garage. I didn't leave mine set out on the property here. I had to go to Decatur, it was an inconvenience for me. But I respected my neighbors because I know how it was in Fort Wayne, and I didn't want to come into something like we're getting now. Like, I shouldn't be speaking out, I'm speaking out of turn, I'm running your,
But, no, he wanted more time to do what he wanted to do, and I ain't got no time, man.
hey, me and me both.
How about you guys?
I wasn't
It's been
taking
sitting there
on
for a hell of a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been sitting there a long time.
I mean, see, that's, you know, we've got hell for you for day after day after meeting, and then you want more time. I don't think that's gonna happen. What about you, Chad?
We've already served the.
Okay. Rich?
I agree.
Joan?
I agree with these guys.
Okay. Ain't no more time to be had. I mean, all you gotta do is make the place look respectable. And you won't do that. Here.
Yeah, hang on to that. I don't have anything.
I have two things. One is for API Construction, pay app number 1. This is for, I think it's North Street. Yeah. It's for $13,679.14.
13,679.14.
Yes.
Basically, this is move-in charge for API for the paving and the trees and what they're gonna do. They're gonna do North Street, they're gonna do the drainage on North Street. They're going to do down there by your daughters.
Dale Spieth?
Yeah, Dale Spieth. So, we need a motion to
Yes.
pay $13,679.14.
Make that motion.
Got a second?
Yeah.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed likewise.
And then I have another one from BFA. This is for land surveying services, for that survey project, and it's for $11,900.
Okay.
Who was that by?
BFA, Birch, Frank and Associates Land Surveying and Consulting.
Okay, that has to do with next year's street
2026.
projects, which will be Prospect and Columbus. And that will be drainage there too. So we need a motion to pay $11,900.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. Clear pass. on the sewer plant, here's where we're at. We borrowed a second pump from Huntertown. They had a pump up there that would work. Okay, so we've got two pumps, but if we get hit with a big rain, we won't have the third pump. And the third pump's the big pump. So I got a price quote from Blue Tank and Pump Rental, which is, they do this all over the country. But the move-in charge was $3,616 to move in. Well, move in and move out. And it was $4,346 a month. Okay, it was $482 a day, $1,448.70 a week. I called Greg Fleming this afternoon and talked to one of the guys there. In the event of a real heavy rain, they have a 10-inch pump. It's $450 a week. And it's $150 a day. And they're supposed to get back with me on getting transportation charges. The guy told me on the phone that if we paid him to move in and we didn't use it, we wouldn't have to pay him, but we'd have to pay him to move in and move out. He did not. He said he would have me that price on Friday. But I thought, we had used Fleming before when we had a valve that got stuck and we had to pump from Lagoon 2 to Lagoon 3. So, but that's where we're at. And one of the pumps that's a small pump, they're rebuilt, but we don't know how long it'll be before we get it. And the big pump, they told Abe and I that they didn't think it was worth rebuilding. And the price, they had told us about $27,000. You probably better look at closer to 40. So there's two ways of doing it, and Rich and I talked about this a little bit this afternoon. Okay, if we upgrade the sewer plant in the next 2 years, which we're working at, there'll be 2 40-horse pumps there. Or we can get a 25-horser like what we're similar to right now. And when we put the 40-horsers in, then that will be the backup pump for Heritage. Heritage has got 2 25s in it now. So depending on what transpires, I just wanted to make sure that we had somebody that in event, once it starts raining, it's probably going to rain and not stop. And you know at that point, it'll get overwhelmed. So, you know, we're pumping 600 and some gallons a minute right now. But we need to be able to pump about 1,800. So that's where that's at. Solid Waste said that they would help us with the grinding again. but I gotta get 2 price quotes. And it's hard to get 2 price quotes today, because there ain't many people to grind. And the other thing is we need it ground finer than it is now, so that it's usable. So I will get those prices and get them to you guys. But they had agreed that they would probably help us with it money-wise. I'm going to repost the job thing tomorrow on LinkedIn. And probably next week, we're gonna have to start doing some interviews. I've got a couple more applications, but, you know, one's from Portland, but he is licensed, so there's some bennies there. And obviously, he must be willing to move. I haven't called him and talked to him yet, but is there any time that's good or bad for job interviews for anybody? Doesn't matter.
I'm usually good after 4.
After 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Joe?
And then who else do you want in those job interviews? Do you want Abe in on them too, or not?
Yeah, I wanted Abe and Dan both.
And then, the pump, the big one, we have to have at least a 25. Yeah.
We have to have at least a 25. Yeah,
So we probably ought to do that as soon as we can get it.
right.
Because if you don't have, if you're not running 15 to 20,000, I
Right,
mean, if you get a big rain, it rains a couple of days, every basement in town's gonna be flooded. You know,
yeah,
because it won't be able to handle it. So you gotta at least do that. But to go on with the new place out there, when we add on to, we're gonna have to go bigger and stuff, because we're, what, 80–90% capacity now.
right, yeah,
Even if everything's up and running.
yeah. Now, if we end up, part of it's gonna depend on what's available.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, if you can't get that, if that was not worth rebuilding, you're gonna have to get, either buy a used one
Yeah.
somewhere, or get a new one. And, you know, that's gonna take time, either one.
Right. No,
First of all, to find it, and then to get it shipped here. And then you gotta get it hooked up. I mean, even if.
Yeah,
you got-
because a 40 horse takes, I think 113 amps, and a 25 horse takes 76 amps. But I don't know what our fuse panel is capable of.
Yeah, and then those big ones, it may not be set up for them, we may have to redo all of that too. I mean, it's another talking, redoing the whole electrical panel and stuff.
Right, and see, and that was figured in the upgrade. If, Abe's supposed to call the electrician and talk to him and see if we could feed a 40. If we could feed a 40, we would be better off to put 40 in it, and then we've got one of the new pumps bought.
Right.
Or we would have a spare. Yeah. But I will let you know, email-wise or text-wise. Does text work best for everybody?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will let you know by text then. Okay.
That's all good.
Chad? Motion to adjourn. Got a motion?
Before you adjourn,
Hmm?
I said, before you adjourn, we hadn't addressed the house trailer on Prospect down there yet. The abandoned house trailer. That we,
Tim?
Well, I drove by it again tonight.
pardon?
I said I drove by it tonight. I don't know what we could do. I mean, it's not in great shape, but it's not gonna fit a nuisance. Our classification of a nuisance is really our only teeth. I mean,
Well,
does it need some outside improvements? Sure. But you could probably point at 100 homes that I could say the same thing about. So I don't think if I tried to bring a nuisance action against them, I'm gonna be successful.
well, if it's not livable, you know,
I don't know if it's livable.
well, you know, I got some relation that's a code enforcer in another town. I don't know who does the inspecting, it's a different county. He notifies them to have it inspected.
That's the
Yeah.
building department if we're gonna,
If you say it's not livable, you know, he's gotta either make it livable or get it out. If you don't want to tear it down, the city tears it down and you pay them.
I mean, I don't have any legal recourse. I'm not the building department. I don't know if it's livable or not livable. I have one path towards that, and it's the nuisance path. That's the only ordinance that I have that we can enforce. I mean, it's not an unsafe structure, so I don't have that. And is it buildable? I don't know. Or livable? I don't know. I don't know if it has a working bathroom. It doesn't have a water bill.
No, there's no water.
Shut off the water.
The water shut off.
Yeah, there's no water to it.
Well, how about the fifth wheel on the other side that's inside the fence?
Oh my gosh, I hear you. What about that?
I mean, whether or not there's somebody living in it.
Oh, yeah. To my knowledge,
Is that the
they're
one?
living in it.
That's where we was at. Matt, was there anybody in
They
there?
claimed they weren't living in it. I think they used it for storage, so they're in and out of it, but they're claiming they don't live in that fifth wheel.
They're claiming and doing it two different things. You know?
So the
If
PVC
the cop
pipe,
comes and asked me if was I speeding, I would say no. You know, but
It all depends on who pulls getting gored, that's what it's
the
all about.
PVC pipe that was back there is gone.
pardon,
When we were back there, that PVC pipe that ran back there, that is gone.
it is?
Yeah.
How about the water?
That was in that PVC. She claimed, and she did, she claimed, she had a dog washing station out there that she claimed she ran the PVC pipe to. When we were out there, it was gone. She had taken it out.
Yeah.
So that is gone.
Is there straw in around underneath it?
There's straw around it, but she, again, her claim is the camper was built for more Florida weather, not for the Indiana winters, so they put the straw in there to try to safeguard their investment.
Well, then
of
they
that
shouldn't have
camper.
bought it for Indiana.
Well, one of the occupants that lives there lived in Florida at one point in time and moved back. And now resides inside the residence.
Would that not come out?
There was no evidence that anybody was living in there, because we were all three there.
If anything, it's being used for storage.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and the one down there, Prospect,
What they don't have here.
whether it's livable or not, I don't know if that matters. Does it?
Well, it does either.
A lot, I
I
think.
mean,
with
he
the-
might be using it for storage.
I've inquired with the building department, and as long as no one's living in it, doesn't have to have a working furnace, doesn't have, if someone is living in it, that's the problem, but nobody's living in it. Because I've inquired about it with the building department, that specific trailer and some other ones down in the court. And if, as long as nobody's living in it, it doesn't have to have a functional furnace, it doesn't have to have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
If someone was living in it and it didn't have a functional furnace, yes, they would 100% come and condemn it. Because we're getting close to fall and we need furnaces working. But if nobody's living in it, he's kind of like, his hands are tied.
I think the only thing we can do there is make sure it keeps the weeds, no doubt it
Weeds
is.
are
cleaned up.
Keeps it cleaned up around the outside.
Which one you talking about? The
I
house
went out
trailer?
there on
Prospect.
House on Prospect.
I
Fifth
have
wheel.
a question about that. It obviously isn't going to improve, just sitting there like it is. Granted, when they cut the weeds down for the first time since I've been living there, it made it look a lot better, but there are still holes in the skirting under the trailer, you know, animals run in and out under there. Like I've said before, you know, in the summer, I can see birds flying around in the windows. But I guess
There's
that's
no
all
birds
beside the
flying around
point.
in
But
there.
my concern is, it isn't going to get any better. So at what point, when do we reach a point where something has to be done about it? I mean, do we just have to wait until it collapses or what? I guess that's, you know, that's one of my concerns, because it certainly isn't going to improve any, just sitting there empty with nothing being done with it, so.
But there is an ordinance that no trailers should be moved into Monroeville, is that correct?
There is, let's see, that's what John Thomas is
They have to
50
get
years
our
ago.
approval.
Pardon?
They have to get our approval, and
Oh.
there won't be any.
Can I say something?
Sure.
You know, Jim was saying about some of the skirting and stuff missing. What if the owner would just repair those, I've been by there, I walk by there every day. What if the owners just replace those places where the skirting's missing? And maybe if there's a glass out of a window missing, just replace the glass. Wouldn't that be a lot simpler?
But it isn't
Then what
glass,
would you
it's just
have?
there's a hole somewhere where birds can get
Nobody
in and
living in
out. I
it,
don't know.
nobody taking care of
you
it.
know.
What would you have? It would be a fire hazard without water there? I mean, if they had a fire, somebody was living there, they get water, how are they gonna put that out? They can't get down the easement from
We
this
have
end because you
people
tell me
that
that
live
the
in
weld
houses.
shop has got priority over me living here 51 years.
We have
I'm a little
people that
upset
live in
about that.
houses now that don't have water.
Pardon?
We have people that live in houses now that don't have water.
Yeah, but Russ Johnson's gone.
No, not Russ Johnson.
Well, I just, you know, like I said, that was just a concern that I understand where you're coming from now, but I'm just saying, you know, when do we reach a point where something will be done about it, because it isn't going to get better?
Well, you should tell that to the people that left him come in to start out with.
Who is that?
I don't know, it isn't us.
We'll go out to the cemetery and find them, that's probably. what it
Okay,
is.
you can do that.
Yeah, I don't know how many years that's been there. Long
It's been
time.
there a long time.
But
Well, like
We're-
John, you said it was there when you moved in, didn't you?
I'm pretty sure it was. Then it's like all this other stuff that never moves. I understand that people got things they gotta use. If they got trailers, I understand that. I had trailers, like I say, but I always kept them housed, away from home. But if you're not making a living with it, and that's just sitting there just like junk does, it draws in vermin and insects and every other thing, and all once the health department says, oh, what happened, everybody's got malaria or something, you know, it just goes on and on.
Now,
I bet
as
if,
far
I bet
as
you,
the,
if
as
when
far
you're
as
seven
the
people there, if
skirting
all this was
goes,
moved in next to your house,
as far
something
as
might
the
get done.
skirting goes, I'll see if he will fix the skirting.
Well,
Well, some of the things, I think we ought to have the county look at.
Well, we've been dealing with that.
And what have they said? Anything, have they even come down here?
They don't care.
It's a long way to Monroeville, Fort Wayne.
Depends on what the issue is.
Well, I doubt if they care really.
the what now?
The county.
What about it?
Well, maybe they should look at those places. I mean, if you're gonna condemn a place, the county's gotta do it, I think.
Sure.
It has to rise to the level of an unsafe structure for the
Right.
county to want to get.
Yeah.
We're talking about a couple of particular places, but they're all over town. I had to detour because the railroad was closed, I had to go through River Haven. Now it looks better than Monroeville.
It does not to build that new bridge,
You know-
I've been down through there.
I don't understand why, if we just left it deteriorate and it's, you know, it's eating us up. Because of it, the only thing we attract is people that don't care. Come to Monroeville, we can do anything. We put a junkyard in the front yard, you know?
And that's what
And that was not that way
Yeah.
years back, you know? People took pride in their places.
they do.
Well, that, you just answered your own question there. People used to take pride in what their place looks
Well,
like. And it's pretty obvious, there's a lot of them now that don't.
Well,
And-
right.
I know there's
I mean,
automobiles sitting around, there's no tags on them. Why don't we get rid of them? Did you tell me you can't do that?
Oh, you can, if they don't have tags.
Huh?
You have an ordinance for that.
Yeah, well, why don't we get it done? You know,
Things move
like
slow.
Lem's down there had that trailer sitting there with junk on for a year, you know, right behind you.
and it finally got moved,
Yeah, it finally got moved,
finally.
but he's got trailer cars on the other side of the trailers. I don't know if they're all plated or not. But, you know,
Should never be allowed.
if we're gonna clean it up and there's not an ordinance, let's make one. You know, you got the power to do it. So, why not get it done? Carolyn moved out because she couldn't stand the junk behind her, you know? But she's a little different, but anyhow,
We're all different.
she wants everything perfect, and I don't want it perfect, but I'm not perfect by any means. And my house is not. But I try to keep it halfway respectable. And I had a fifth wheel trailer, poured a slab for it, I parked it out back in the garage. But I took it to Florida or someplace every winter, you know?
Sure.
Lived in it for 3 months or so. And it's set under a tree, so I had to wash it 2 or 3 times in the summertime because it started getting black, you know? Kept it shined out. But the longer we keep it going, the worse it gets.
Well, there's one thing we got over Fort Wayne, we don't have many shootings out here anymore. We got one about once or twice a week there, so we're ahead of that game.
About every other day.
About every other day.
Every day.
Yeah, I'm sure I got out of there. I drove by the old place that I had, 4 cars in the driveway and 2 in the yard and blankets over the windows. Yeah, that's what's,
Yeah.
50 years ago, I had that place in immaculate. But times change. You have to change with them.
What did the county have to say, Tim, actually, when you talked to them?
Talking about the zoning,
Like the trailer stuff?
well, the trailers are, I mean, the only thing that Ben Roussel said they had jurisdiction over would be if somebody was living in, like, the travel trailer or the RV.
Right.
That's prohibited by the zoning ordinance. That was the only thing his staff could deal with. There are other zoning things that they can deal with, but he said it would take us forever and you wouldn't be happy with how slow we move. So if you want to pursue something, you have to use your nuisance statute or ordinance to do that.
Yeah.
So
I'll take it if you don't want it.
so that's what we're gonna,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just thinking outside the box. That trailer that sits abandoned, because nobody's living there, it could basically be considered a shed, right? So they're not gonna do anything about it because it's just a shed. Even if it's not the best shape, it's just a shed because nobody lives there, nobody.
doesn't have
So
to be.
therefore, they probably won't do anything about it, right?
Correct.
Until it becomes an unsafe structure where it could fall in on the kid that's over there playing around or something like that. That's my guess, is the way I would interpret it.
Well, and I think it goes to a little bit of what they said. If it gets to the point where there are vermin running in and out of
Yeah.
there, then it rises to the level where they'll do something about it. So we do have a nuisance ordinance. If we want to start bringing those actions, we have that right, because there's.
Tim and I had talked about the nuisance ordinance, and I think that's probably, okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's just, we're just gonna have to send out nuisance notices and say you have so many days to abate, clean up your property. If you don't clean it up, then we're gonna bring in action to make you do that. And if they don't do it, the ordinance allows us to go onto the property, clean it up, and bill them for it. And you can add that to the real estate taxes.
I hate to keep just harping on things, but I know there are rental houses in town. Some of them are very well taken care of, but there are 3 of them on this street that look pretty rough. And it seems to me that if you own a rental property, you should be responsible for seeing that it's taken care of and, you know, keep the property up. I know one of these houses over here, if you look at the gutters along the north and south sides of the house, there's stuff sticking up out of the gutters this high, and, you know, they need paint, they just need to be fixed up. So do we have any kind of an ordinance, or can you make one about, like whoever owns rental properties, that they are responsible for making sure that they're taken care of?
But wouldn't you want that same ordinance to be applicable to everybody?
Well, yes.
Fort Wayne has neighborhood code enforcement, right? So they have an entire book on things that you have to do. And if you don't do those things, they have, I don't know, how many guys? 6?
I don't know.
They have,
That's Fort Wayne
they have-
City, so I have no idea.
They have inspectors that are on the road every day,
No.
and they go out and inspect these
And we're
houses.
not
And if they're
Fort
not
Wayne.
up to code, you get a code violation letter, and they have, once a month, they have neighborhood code hearings. And if you're not there, you get fined, or if you don't do the work fast enough, you get fined. We don't have the budget.
Well, why don't we do that?
How do you do that budget? How do you afford that? I mean, you'd have to have somebody full-time. That'd be their job.
Well,
I mean, you can do it. I don't know how you're gonna afford it, but you can do it.
Your water bill's gonna go way up.
well,
We
We
gotta
got
pay for
the
it
best
somehow.
water bill in the country, I think.
yeah, I'm not,
You guys do a super job with that stuff.
I mean, if you wanted to create the ordinance structure, you could do it, but it's going to be expensive.
so what about the grass? Weeds get that high. Is there an ordinance on that?
Yeah.
Well, I named you 6 or 8 places that it's there now. Who warns them about it?
Matt does.
Man.
So,
And there's been places where we've had the town guys go down
Yeah.
and mow the grass, so, and charge them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then usually you bill them for it.
Yeah.
I got a house down there beside me, it's got stuff head high almost growing up, got a brush pile in the backyard. There's varmints that live in it. I've asked her, and I've asked some guy comes and mows the weeds once in a while, but brings a weed eater down, but he don't trim much. He said, well, I said, we got a place down here, we can get rid of all that. Well, he's going through some days, that's been 2 years ago, and they hadn't touched it yet. And I got him this year again.
I don't know if we have any ordinance about somebody being a slob. We can't do a whole lot if people know they don't want to paint their house, or they don't want to clean their gutters, or
That's
they don't
right.
want to mow the yard, and, I mean,
Well,
if they want to live like that, as long as it's not really hurting anybody else, there's not a whole lot you can do.
It does hurt the neighbor. It's just like that barn they tore down.
Yeah,
There wasn't a coat of paint on that when I moved here in '74, and it never had any on when they tore it down. It was there for 50-some years.
Well,
So they just tore it
that
down,
guy-
and then you got the weld shop over here, like I said, there ain't been a nickel.
That guy
worth.
there that tore the
They
barn
don't put a
down,
dime back into the thing, they keep taking the money out.
he's
just
supposed to
like
be
everything
building
else.
2 new houses there on that corner.
Yeah, well, the guy, I talked to the
So,
guy that tore
I mean,
that
that's gonna
down.
get cleaned up pretty good here.
I thought he
before
was
too
tearing
long.
it down, cleaning it all out, but he,
It just left.
He got his siding off and he wanted,
That's right, that's what he wanted.
And I don't know, maybe he just got paid to tear it down, there's another guy that has bought it, that's gonna haul it out and use it for something.
I talked to
I don't
him.
know.
He got it for the wood.
Yeah,
That's what he
That wood's
wanted.
valuable.
So, I
the
mean,
guy that tore it down.
Yeah.
But he should have been made to clean up the mess.
it's, like
I
I
don't know how you
said, there's
do
gonna be
that.
2 new houses
I
built on
can't
that
even get him to
lot.
open up my easement.
There's gonna be 2 new houses built there before too long, so it's gonna get cleaned up pretty well, yeah?
They won't be able to go down the alley back there then.
They what?
Or the alley behind him is blocked at the north end, so.
Well,
That's my
we're looking
problem,
into-
see, that's not anybody, if it was their problem, we might get it fixed.
Yeah.
Was whose problem?
About the easement and thing, I can't see why it has to be blocked, it never was before when I moved here. I know
No,
times
it
change.
shouldn't be blocked. If it's not an easement, if it's an alley, it should be open.
I think it should be open for safety purposes,
Right.
Yeah.
because there's
For
no,
fire and EMS.
on those
and
4
stuff
houses,
like
there's no
that.
alley through there for the fire department to get to the back of the house. Now, I've had to drive up and down there many a time, and I service my own vehicles out in the backyard in the grass, no garage or anything, that's fine. But now, if I was old enough or young enough now to do it, I would have to drive down to Forest Street and back and forth and try and maneuver around. I don't think that they don't respect their neighbors, that's what really burns me.
But if
And they
it's,
don't put another dime in the business, it's just look at the trash hole.
if it's an easement, are you allowed to drive down through an easement?
Well, then you can come down and service my vehicle. No, I don't have a service now, but,
Whether you're.
I guess I'm not allowed, it's America.
I
But
got an
maybe if you want to
easement
restrict
behind
my
house,
rights to
nobody can drive
live,
down through it. So if
Let's
it's an
step
alley, you can
outside.
drive down through it. If it's an easement, I don't think you're allowed to drive down through it.
What's the easement for?
For the
Till-
utilities.
Utilities.
they can't get down there either. They can't get down through there if they need to. If there's a gas main break, gas breaks on there in that easement, they'd have to come in from the other end, if they could get through.
We'll look into it. I have one more thing.
Okay.
The pizza place over the drain, what's the deal there? Is it the state?
She hasn't
I
got
mean,
back
it's
with
a state
me.
highway, so that,
Right.
didn't the
She
state
hasn't-
have to take care of that?
No,
Well,
she'll have to take care of it, but she hasn't got back
I
with
mean,
me.
it's been going on for a while now, too.
Yeah.
That's an eyesore, too, right
I
downtown.
mean, 74, 51 years today.
Well, I moved into my place in 60.
Wow.
Adjourned.
That's your number.
Second.
So you've been here,
All those in favor, signify
65
by
years.
saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed likewise.
Well, I hope I didn't spoil their bypass.